Hello everyone and welcome to the next episode of Total War Through the Ages, specifically episode 20. I'd like to apologize for this episode coming out late. It was supposed to be up this past Saturday, however, it got delayed to today. So, in the meantime, we're going to be getting into some pretty interesting stuff. So this is a pretty eventful episode. First off, I've actually started to be able to bring this army from the north back. I moved it up there previously because I'd planned to move through the Germanic territory, but unfortunately that was not possible. And the Britons now have a big army. This happened actually during their turn. I kind of skipped that part, but they moved this big army down from directly north of them, and they're now besieging that settlement. So this is pretty bad because I don't have a very big garrison there, and I don't really have a big enough army in this area to challenge them in an open battle. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try and get as many reinforcements over to them as I can to aid in the defense of that settlement, but the army from the north is still too far away, and I have a feeling they won't get back. So minor cleanup operation here. Basically this is the leftover of the Britons' army before that besieged Narbo Martius. So we're just mopping them up. Now the balance of power was weird. I don't know why the balance of power was so done, because I outnumbered them by a lot, and I had like all my units were a lot stronger and stuff. So that's why I hesitated there. I wasn't sure if I should fight the battle out or auto-resolve it, but I ultimately did auto-resolve it, and it didn't. It actually worked just fine, but I was a little bit worried because the balance of power did show it wasn't like completely overwhelming like I was hoping it would be and kind of expecting it to be. So like I said, again, we're just trying to get as many reinforcements over to that settlement, and I don't remember the name of it, but we're trying to get as many settlement, and even if I knew the name of the settlement, I could actually pronounce it. So we're trying to get as many forces over. And now I actually had contemplated attacking with these forces here, attacking them. However, I decided against that because after some close examination, I realized that if I had attacked the smaller the army, their larger army would come in as reinforcements, but my units wouldn't. That's how, because of the way the armies are positioned, none of my garrison force in the settlement and the other small force of cavalry I had there, neither one would get to come in as reinforcements. So I opted against that. And then over here, we are going to finally be striking a final blow over here against the Carthaginians. Not quite yet, but very soon. We're going to finally be capturing. Actually, yeah, it is right now. So I actually auto-resolved this battle because the balance of power was so overwhelming me in my favor, and I didn't really feel like I didn't really need to fight the battle. It would be a long battle. It would take me a long time, and I didn't need to, so I just auto-resolved it. Yeah. So, exterminate the populace as always, because, you know, we gotta try and get people to not hate us. And so the best way to do that is kill them. Total War logic. Or Rome Total War logic, I should say. So, here we're gonna destroy the temple there and get a nice good shrine of a good Roman deity up there. I think it's Jupiter. I think I've been doing shrines of Jupiter on all of them. I'm fairly sure that that's not a good idea, putting shrines of Jupiter in everything, but that's what I've been doing, and that's probably what I'll continue to do for the rest of this playthrough, even though it's not really a good idea. If anyone can tell me what a good strategy is in, like, you know, what settlements, you know, what situations you want to do Shrine of Jupiter or Shrine of any of the different places, if anyone can explain that to me, please do so, because that would be very helpful. I could take the time and do it myself, but at the end of the day, I am trying to wrap this series up as quickly as possible, even though we're still probably not more than halfway through at this point, if even halfway through, but hopefully I will be able to start gathering some more steam here. And sorry about that, had a cough. It seems like these past few episodes I haven't been able to get through them without having a cough or something. I guess it's just my allergies or something. Or maybe I'm getting sick, I don't know. Hopefully not. But here we have the army coming down from the north. I'm calling it the Army of the North because it's been up in the north for a long time. So I almost get them down here. And at this point, I actually position the army to where I would be able to... Well, first of all, I finished off this tiny Carthaginian force. I don't even know how that got there. But now at this point, I would totally be able to attack them. And that was my plan. The plan was to actually attack that army right there. However, I forgot. And I even buy mercenaries. So that it's like, yeah, a sure thing I'm going to win this, no problem. I meant to attack, and I forget to attack. I go over, look at some other stuff, in turn, I forgot to attack, and they assaulted me. Wow, I'm an idiot. I totally should have attacked them there, and it would have been a very, like, totally no problems. At this point, I was like, I'm a little bit worried with this battle. However, I am actually going to switch over to the recording of my audio that I did that was live, and we'll be switching over to that right now. Well, I know one thing's for sure. I should probably start leaving, like, one or even just one unit of archers in all of my cities for defensive purposes, because they'd be very useful. I could potentially light the ram on fire or light the siege tower on fire. So, like I said, that would be very useful. So the plan here is that we've got the Arcani up here, the assassin dudes. I don't remember that it's the temple of whatever. I think it's Jupiter allows me to build these guys. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about them historically. But we got Hastati here, Hastati here, Hastati here, and Hastati here. Now we'll move them around as need be. We have our general here. So the plan is send the ram to the gate, batter down the gate. 2 units of town watch to cover this side. We have the auxilia right here to cover that side. We've got our general's bodyguard to charge in, and hopefully that will be enough to break them. If it isn't, we'll be kind of screwed. Oh, no.
This is hopeful news indeed.
I forgot we had reinforcements coming in. Well, we're going to go for their general. And I'm back with the post-recorded commentary. Yeah, the main reason I wanted to leave that in there is just so everyone knows I have been recording live commentary on some of this stuff, and I haven't been using it just because the live commentary usually is not nearly as good as this post-commentary. I know that's not saying much, so you can kind of get an idea of how bad the live commentary normally is, but in this one instance, I just had to leave that in there because the whole, like, I actually did a pretty good explanation in the moment of my defensive setup there, as well as just my reaction, because I had, at the time, completely forgotten that I had reinforcements coming in, and my reaction to that I just thought was pretty good, so I wanted to leave that in there. So, a couple things I didn't realize at the time was, firstly, that the enemy army composition was a lot more of their low-tier, weaker units. And the other big thing is that I also didn't notice, as you can see right there, I didn't realize that these walls being upgraded this high also was pretty effective at killing a lot of the guys from the unit that had the battering ram. So that was pretty cool, and I kind of didn't realize that. But again, I also had forgotten that I'd had a reinforcing army, and the Arcani actually do pretty well here on this wall. Now again, they're only going up against a unit. I think the unit they're going up against is a warband unit, which are pretty weak. They're like light infantry, so it's not that big of a deal. I also bring a unit of Hastati over just to help them out, just to seal the deal, so to say. And we have our unit of Praetorians coming up, as well as, of course, our 3 units of cavalry, which make up our reinforcing army. And this is the Equitas, the auxiliary cavalry, and then, of course, the legionary cavalry. Or no, I think it's called Roman cavalry. It's called Roman cavalry. Is the new version of the Equitas, which I believe is slightly better as well. But this fight is actually goes very well for me because my cavalry just mops up outside the walls without too much problem. Pretty much barely any of the enemy units actually make it to the walls. Most of them I just get engaged outside with my cavalry, and I can just I'm able to maneuver my cavalry around and just swarm them from multiple directions, and they all rout pretty quickly because of that. So, and here in just a moment, I bring my general out here to help run down these guys. Because I actually fought this battle all the way to the end. Even after I won the victory, I continued on to run down as many of these guys as I could, because partly because I had a lot of cavalry, so it would be worthwhile actually playing out and running all the guys down, and also because of that, I didn't want them coming back at all. I wanted this army to be completely wiped out if possible, and I'm pretty sure it is. So we've got our Praetorians with the Pila there, with the Pilum. I keep wanting to say Pilo for some reason, but it's Pilum, and the Pilum. Very effective. They actually made the unit route just on its own. We're moving our auxiliary unit out here, and then I'm skipping it forward. I pretty much wiped out their entire army except the army that was in the siege tower. The unit that was in the siege tower was still there. And actually, no, I forgot. I didn't continue on the battle. I'd forgotten because I'd missed. Yeah, my bad. But Britons have another army coming, and they besiege Narbo Martius, which kind of sucks. But overall, it's not too bad. And here we have the rest of our kind of the reinforcing army. We send some of the units back in to kind of buff the garrison, and then we're actually going to take the commander of that garrison, the former commander, and we actually take him up, and he's going to be the commander of this small little force here, which is not a large army, but we're going to send it over to besiege Marsilla and take Marsilla back. And then the army of the north is actually going to finally start proceeding north and take the fight to the Britons, but that will have to wait till next episode. Also, not to forget, next episode will also be probably... Oh, no, actually, next episode will actually be not dealing with the Britons. It'll actually be striking a very devastating blow to the Carthaginians, as you will see here in just a moment. I'm doing the last preparations for this invasion force here. We go ahead and recruit a couple units of hoplites. I have to go and I just stop spending some of my money from the recruitment so that I have enough money to recruit these mercenaries, because I want to recruit them. So we recruit the mercenaries. And the mercenary hoplites. We load up onto the ship. I'm actually waiting for the video to catch up. We load up onto the ship, and then we land our forces. And without too much more, the enemy's gonna attack us. So I was contemplating maybe going to try and scrounge up the funds to recruit those mercenary elephants, but I decided against it. So we're about to end our turn, but we have our invasion force well underway. And at this point, we've come to the end of this episode. And I will also say, this is actually the last footage that I have recorded for quite a while. So the next episode will actually be recorded right after I'm doing this post commentary for this one. So keeping that in mind, any comments you guys leave on this video, I will actually be able to take into consideration for next episode. But without further ado, thank you all for watching. Be sure to check back for more Total War Through the Ages, as well as the other series. Our release schedule, as always, this is new, but our release schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So those are the days that Total War Through the Ages will be coming out on. So check back for more, and till next time.